Welcome to another video in my playthrough series of Absolute War, the Russian Front, 1941-1945. This is a summary of the third turn, and that is the Soviet turn of turn 3. The Germans have 11 war status points, or victory points, I guess you could call them, and the Soviets have 3 at the moment, as you can see here. So there is a difference of 8 points, yeah, and there would have to be a difference of 16 points. I don't think that's going to happen, but I'm still learning the game and having a lot of fun. The Russians try to attack the area of Vyazma here. There was another unit, but the combat resulted in that unit being destroyed, or it had to take a step loss, which in this case means that it was destroyed, and it also had to be given an unsupplied marker. I believe this unit supported, but anyway, it wasn't successful. I was going to use this card with it, but then I found out that that's very important in this game. If these two units were on top of one another, it would be one stack, and advancing, which is what this card allows, would have allowed the Russian lead attacker at least to also move into that area, because an area has a stacking limit of 2, which could be 2 units of the same side or 1 unit of each, or actually I should say 1 stack, not 1 unit. A stack can consist of multiple units. Usually 2 fortress and air unit are for free. So anyway, I wasn't able to play this card because as these 2 units are not actually on top of one another, they count as 2 stacks, and that's the maximum stacking limit. So the Soviets couldn't advance into there. The whole idea behind it was to cut off supply to the 2 panzer armies here. I'm not using the optional rule of allowing supply through contested areas if it was last controlled by your side, because I think, you know, it works either way. Sometimes it works against the Soviets. Here it would have worked if this attack had been successful against the Germans, because then these units would have all been out of supply. So I didn't play this card in the end. I'm just going to put it back, and I played that one once I found out that it wasn't possible to play that one. I put a disruption marker on all units involved in that combat, which meant that the Soviet units got to remove them again before the end of their turn, but during the German turn these 2 will be disrupted, which has several disadvantages. So that's why I played that one. Yeah, other than that, there weren't any attacks by the Soviets, but they've stiffened their lines of resistance. In the north, this one is still relatively vulnerable, so maybe the Germans can make it into Leningrad and claim a war objective. But it might be difficult. This unit is relatively strong, 3 defense points, 2 for the terrain, so who knows. Yeah, and in the south, yeah, the Germans are relatively weak there. It seems like they're going for an all-out attack on Moscow. So let's see if that's going to work out on the next German turn, which will be winter weather, November, December, turn 4. Let's see what happens. Thank you again for watching.